Welcome back. Today we are doing a deep dive into, well, one of Japanese racing's most fascinating and, frankly, tragic figures, Rice Shower.
Absolutely. It's quite a story. You have this horse whose name suggests, pure happiness, like a wedding tradition.
Right, throwing rice for good luck. But his career, it went in a totally different direction. He ended up being called the assassin.
It's such a stark contrast, and we're really going to unpack that narrative using insights from Rice Shower, the tragedy of the assassin.
So the basics. Born 1989. Sire Real Sade, Dam Lilac Point. And the name Rice Shower, it was genuinely chosen with that hope, that he'd bring joy.
And by all accounts, he was pretty calm, easy to handle, good for training. Should have been a straightforward path, maybe.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But he became infamous, which really gets to the heart of this deep dive of how does an athlete, just by winning, become the bad guy?
Especially when they're just running, doing their job. It says so much about fan expectation, doesn't it? About the stories we want.
Totally. Fans invest in these destinies. And Rice Shower, he smashed a couple of the biggest ones back then.
He really did. Okay, so let's start where things get moving. His debut was August 91.
One first time out, which is always good.
Right.
But then things got a bit patchy.
Yeah, bit of a slump. Then a win, then a bone fracture, sidelined him early.
But he comes back in 92. And that's when he runs into, well, his destiny, I suppose.
Mihona Buluban, the superstar.
Exactly. Buluban was the golden horse. Powerful, fast, and crucially unbeaten. He was the story.
And Rice Shower at first was just background noise.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
4th in the Spring Stakes, 8th in the Setsuki Show, 8th in the NHK High. Not even close. Not considered a rival at all.
Which makes the 1992 Japanese Derby so interesting. That's a huge race. Massive prestige.
And Rice Shower. Written off completely. What were the odds?
The sources say 16th favorite out of 18 horses. Basically zero chance, according to the public.
Just incredible. But he didn't run like a 16th favorite, did he?
No way. He tracked Buluban, who set a blistering pace. And Rice Shower just hung on, showed incredible grit.
Finished second. Okay, 4 lengths behind Buluban, who was still unbeaten, but still. Second place from those odds. That's a statement.
Oh, absolutely. That must have been the moment they realized, okay, we have something special here, a real fighter.
You see that grit building through the autumn, too. He keeps meeting Buluban.
And keeps finishing second. St. Lake Kinnan, second. Kyoto Shimunhai, second again.
Still losing, yes, but consistently second. The gap. It felt like it was closing, didn't it?
Definitely. He was proving he belonged. The stalker was getting nearer.
That consistency set up the rivalry. But the next race? That's where Rice Shower went from rival to, well, spoiler, villain even.
The Kikuka show, the final leg of the Triple Crown. 3,000 meters, a real test.
And Buluban was on the verge of history. Unbeaten Triple Crown winner, legend status beckoning.
The atmosphere must have been electric, everyone waiting for the coronation.
And then comes Rice Shower. 5th time facing Buluban. And this time,
he turns the tables completely. Doesn't just win, he smashes the record.
dominates the race. And Buluban's perfect record. Shattered. Triple Crown denied.
Can you imagine the stands? The Japanese racing public loves the Triple Crown narrative. It's huge.
And for this horse, Rice Shower, seen as maybe an outsider from the Kanto region, to just destroy that dream.
Silence. Disbelief. Probably followed by, well, booze. He won the race, but lost the crowd instantly.
And if that wasn't enough to cement his villain status, he wasn't done yet. Fast forward a bit to the Tenno show spring in 93.
Another massive race. The ultimate long-distance test in Japan. 4 kilometers. Grueling.
And this time, the target wasn't Buluban. It was Miyuro McQueen.
Another giant. A true legend already. And McQueen was going for something unprecedented. A 3rd straight win in that race. History on the line again.
Another coronation expected. But Rice Shower had apparently gone through this incredibly tough training camp. Came out looking different. Leaner. Sharper.
And his jockey, Hitoshi Matoba, really asked him for everything. They didn't just edge McQueen.
No, they blew past him. Yeah. Won by daylight. And guess what?
Don't tell me. Another track record.
Yep. Smashed another record. An absolutely dominant performance. Undeniable.
But that dominance just seemed to make things worse with the public, didn't it?
It really did. Now, he'd ruined 2 major historical moments. 2 fairy tales spoiled.
He wasn't seen as this brilliant, tough stare. He was just the horse who ruined things. The party pooper.
And that's when the nickname really took hold, right? The Kanto assassin.
That's the one. Shocking, really. That label applied to both him and his jockey, Matoba. They weren't celebrating a Kanto horse winning. They were upset their Kansai heroes lost.
Matoba apparently really disliked that nickname. You can understand why.
Of course. It highlights something about sports fans, I think. We need heroes, and if someone disrupts that hero's journey,
They become the villain, automatically, regardless of their own talent or effort. Race Shower was just running his heart out.
But he carried the weight of all that public disappointment. Incredible pressure.
It is incredible. And maybe that pressure, or just the physical toll, caught up. Because after beating McQueen, things went downhill for a while.
Yeah, a real slump. He was expected to dominate, but he just wasn't firing.
Losing to horses like Twin Turbo, right? A flashy front runner, but maybe not a horse Race Shower, should have been losing to it his best.
Exactly. Was it physical? Was it psychological, that assassin label weighing him down? The sources suggest maybe a mix of both. Fatigue after those huge efforts.
And that slump nearly ended his career, didn't it? Another injury.
A bad one. A serious fracture before the '94 Tenno show spring. At his age, with his history, retirement seemed like the obvious, maybe the kindest option.
Looked like his story might just fizzle out. Villain, slump, injury, retirement. Not exactly heroic.
But this horse, he just wouldn't quit. He defied the odds against Bulaban, against McQueen.
And he defied the injury, too. His recovery was remarkably quick, that same toughness.
He came back that autumn, didn't win straight away, but ran a really gutsy third in the Erie McKinnon.
And even in third place, he was still being disruptive. He broke Nice Nature's streak, right? Nice Nature had finished third in that race 3 years running.
Yes. Even losing, he's breaking someone else's pattern. It's like it was just his thing, couldn't help himself.
But that run showed the spark was still there. And it set up maybe the most emotional chapter. By 1995, the top long-distance horses, there wasn't a clear standout.
And suddenly, Race Shower, the old warrior, the veteran who'd overcome injury, he looked like a serious contender again for the tennis show spring.
And the public. Maybe absence made the heart grow fonder. Or maybe seeing him fight back from injuries softened them. They started to come around.
I think so.
Yeah.
And he delivered. He fought like crazy in the '95 tennis show spring, won it again, his second victory in that huge race.
And it was incredibly close, wasn't it? Like inches.
10 centimeters. A tiny margin, but enough. He was back on top.
And this time the reaction was different.
Completely different. The timing was key, too. The reigning Triple Crown champ, Narita Bryan, was out injured. There was a void at the top.
And Race Shower filled it. Suddenly, he wasn't the spoiler anymore. He was the proven champion, the tough guy who battled back. The public finally let him be the hero.
The turnaround was amazing. Proof. He topped the fan vote for the Takazuka Kinnin that summer. That's purely driven by popularity. They'd finally accepted him, embraced him, even.
It felt like destiny was finally on his side. The fans believed it, too.
And the circumstances for that Takazuka Kinnin seemed almost scripted. Perfect.
Because of the Great Hanshin earthquake, right? The race got moved.
Exactly. Moved from Hanshin Racecourse to Kyoto. And Kyoto was Race Shower's track, his favorite place. He'd already won 3 G1s there.
Wow. So the redemption arc was complete. He's back at his favorite track. The fans love him. It's set up for this ultimate moment of glory.
It felt like it. The villain redeemed, ready for his triumphant coronation in front of his new admirers.
But fate.
Yeah.
It had one last cruel twist.
Yeah. June 4th, 1995, the Takazuka Kinnin. During the race, it was clear Race Shower wasn't quite himself. Off form.
Matoba, the jockey, sensed it. His plan was just, okay, let's get him home safe. Forget winning, just look after the horse.
But Race Shower, maybe that fighting spirit just took over one last time. Around the third corner, he suddenly surged forward, took off on his own.
And then, moments later,
Yeah.
he stumbled, went down.
A catastrophic injury, left foreleg fracture. There was nothing they could do.
Euthanized right there on the track. He was only 6. Matoba stayed with them.
The silence, then the shock, then the grief in the stands must have been just immense, unbearable.
The horse they booed for years, the assassin. Now people were openly weeping for him.
The outpouring was huge. It actually sparked a debate in Japan at the time.
About the reaction itself.
Yeah, some people felt the sudden switch, all this intense sentimentality was, well, maybe a bit much. Hypocritical, even. They resented how quickly he went from hated villain to tragic martyr just because he died tragically.
That's, wow. So a really complex legacy. He goes through this whole cycle. Name means joy, becomes the villain, earns respect as a veteran, finally becomes the hero. And then tragedy strikes right at that peak.
So what's his enduring legacy? I think it's just his truth. He was what he was. A fighter.
Ran his heart out every time, beat the best, refused to fit the neat boxes people wanted him in.
Exactly. He didn't fail the narratives failed to contain him. The horse, not just the role they'd cast him in. He's unforgettable because of that tension. The hero he was versus the villain they needed.
That tension really is the key, isn't it? The horse named for happiness, finding real acceptance only at the very end.
Which leaves us with something important for you, the listener, to mull over. Think about that whiplash. From Kanto assassin to beloved fallen hero in just a couple of years.
What does that rapid reversal and the debate about whether the grief was too much tell us about the roles we demand? Hero, villain.
Yeah.
These very rigid boxes we put competitors into.
What stories do we need our champions to follow? And what happens when, like Rice Shower, an athlete has the sheer audacity to just run their own race, write their own story? Something to think about.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Check out our other videos for more stories you might enjoy.